Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover a couple player moves as well as the LPL and LCK games from this morning. LCS games are going on right now. Those will be on tomorrow's Roundup. Then LPL, LCK, LCS preview for tomorrow. Couple player moves though. So first, FlyQuest have made a swap in mid lane. They've brought up Spirax. These stats are not overly impressive to me. Not indicative of a player deserving of a call up. We'll get into why I believe this ended up being the case. There are some people in the Discord that did say they believed he is the best Academy mid laner. That would include APA, who just played for TL a couple times last weekend, by the way. So Spirax's numbers at the Academy level: 3.2 KDA, 8.4 CS per minute, 61.9 KP. So not a lot of gold, not a lot of involvement. 417 gold per minute, 671 damage per minute. That is about 22 and 29% respectively of the share for FlyQuest Academy's squad. So he is the secondary carry. Laning, not overly impressive at 15 minutes. Up 220 gold, 3 CS, 45 XP, 5 solo kills in 30 games, played 11 champions. So, not dominant in laning phase, not getting a lot of gold, and not very involved when it comes to kills. So this is definitely a move, to say the least. Now, I can see why they did it. Vicla's numbers are downright dog. I didn't realize they were as bad as they are. 1.6 KDA, 8.2 CS per minute, 62.4 KP. He is sucking right now in LCS. Rookie of the Year from Korea last year, and he has not shown up at all. Eventually here, one of the younger players, keep that in mind, sophomore slumps are a thing, but it is unfortunate. 374 gold per minute, 508 damage per minute. That results in about 21.8% of the gold and 27.4% of the damage. So secondary carry like. Laning wise, for a Korean import mid laner, these numbers are not good. Down 350 gold, 10 CS, 420 XP on average. He's getting smoked in lane. 4 champions in 12 games, 1 solo kill. This move had to be made. We're looking at the last couple weeks for FlyQuest. They are desperate after investing all that money, signing Prince and Vicla this past offseason. It's going to be a tall task for them. Luckily, 8 teams make the playoffs in the LCS. D Plus also made a move. Not announced, but it happened once again. Another Korean move that we don't see ahead of time. Bible played in support over Kellen today. CK for D plus Kia is disgusting. You have the best top, jungle, and AD carry prospect, in my opinion, in the world on that squad. Bible is their shot caller, and they're like 22-1 this year. 6 KDA, 71.4 KP, 155 damage per minute. On average, 2.89 vision score per minute. Places about 3 wards every 2 minutes. So 3 wards every 2 minutes. 1 control ward every other minute, and clears 1 ward every 3 minutes. 12 champions, 23 games. Now, Kellen is not the problem with this team. I believe top lane is more of an issue. They should have Thanatos in there over Kana. But regardless, Kellen had a 6.2 KDA, 77.6 KP, 177 damage per minute. His vision score, 3.05, places about 8 wards every 5 minutes, 2 control wards every 5 minutes, clears 1 ward every 3 minutes, 11 champions, 23 games. I'm not a big Kellen fan. I've said it before, but I will say this. That's not the problem with this team. They won again today, and we'll get into that, but it is not what holds this team back against the best of the best. Predictions: I'm 191 and 82, went 4-1 today. LNG Thunder Talk, LNG win 2-1. They're now 11-4. Thunder Talk 5-10. Scout was MVP for me. Gala 16-3, 15, 30% of damage. Zika 4-1, 19 in top lane. Hoya 4-6-10, 30% of damage for Thunder Talk. You know, if Hoya is leading Thunder Talk in damage, it was a rough one. 1XN not showing up today. UCal limited impact, Beschwan limited impact. I mean, LNG kind of ran the show in this one. Like I said, I mean, Gala, look at Gala's KDA, look at Zigga's KDA, and then Scout ends up being MVP because he was a difference maker in Game 3. He was disgusting. They were just, when he's on carry-oriented champions right now, he is just on another level. He puts LNG on his back. Game 1 was very slow. I think First Blood came after 16 minutes. LNG already had built a gold lead in bot lane, which made me consider making Gala MVP for simply the bot lane getting ahead of ThunderTalk in a vacuum. But I ended up going Scout because I felt like Scout was the better player throughout the entire series. ThunderTalk do find a way to get a game, but they're now out of playoffs. So the ThunderTalk experiment that I've been hyped about all year did not pan out. Their season is over when it comes to games that matter. FPX Ninja in Pajamas. FPX win 2-0. They're 5-10. NIP now 7-8. But NIP were locked into the playoffs before this series started when ThunderTalk were knocked out. Playoffs are decided now. The 10 teams, we know who they are. Seeding is another thing. LWX 12-4-16, 30% of damage. Care was my MVP, 13-3-20. Photic 5-9-7, 28% of damage in the loss. NIP had one really good fight in this series, where they were able to slow down FPX and even out a game state, like big time, take a Baron, even out game state. But Care coming through in team fights, LWX as well, they were just so much better than Angel and Photic in this one, frankly. I felt like Angel, I mean, I think he solo killed Care once, but otherwise, I think that's the only time Care died in Game 2. He went like 6-1-9 or something, like absolutely crushed it on the Annie. I think he played Nico in Game 1. And then oftentimes LWX, I really like, and I wish they show it more, the damage, simply the damage of team fights, especially when the game's still close. I don't care when the game is 10k diff. I don't know why it's a hype team fight. The gold difference is like 12k. This game's over. But when the game is still close and it could go either way, I really like the damage chart. And LWX really came through on that thing. Like, he is impacting team fights at another level. Of course, FPX had nothing to play for. NIP didn't either, but, you know, pride. I mean, they had pride in trying to play for a job next year. Recap, BLG, RNG. BLG win 2-1. They're second in the power rankings, 14-1. RNG 11th at 7-7. Yagao, 18-9-25, 29% of damage. Shun, 13-12-25. He had a rough series. LP, 18-15-20, 34% of damage in the loss. Bin really came through in Game 3 on Kesante in key team fights, so makes me want to lean him MVP. Yagao was good throughout the series, I thought, so he also may deserve a little bit of credit. Elk did his thing. Game 1 was a banger. 45-50 minute special where both Nexuses were being under attack. Breathe had over 10 kills on Jackson top lane. He was very, very good. After Yagao had solo killed him a couple times, they had been trading solo kills in the side lane. Breathe really came through and it mattered. However, in games 2 and 3, despite being close, BLG were able to out team fight and win. Yagao doing what he had to do, like I said. Bin in game 3 on the Kesante being the difference maker. And Elk as well over the top of it. Obviously, the AD carry is doing his job. Lamau died like 8 times on set in game 2. That was ugly. Not many people playing set, so maybe set goes back to where it came from when it comes to picks. Let's think here. What else we have? I mean, LP died 15 times, but did come through in their win. He did play well. Tangwan, I thought, was very good for RNG across the entire series. Like I said, Breathe in Game 1 specifically, but Tangwan over the entirety of the series I thought was very good. His Annie games were on point, and he found ways to alter the game. LCK Live Sandbox D+. D+ win 2-0. They're now 7-4, 8th in the power rankings. Live Sandbox 2-9. Deft went 18-3-12, 37% of damage, sorry. Kana, 3-3-18. Closer, 10-8-7, 41% of damage in the loss. So, this was one-sided except for the first 5 minutes of Game 1. Liv Sandbox had a lead because they outplayed a gank by D+. Teddy ended up with 3 kills on Zaya, but Canyon got a couple back on Lee Sin. And it made me want to make Canyon MVP. Frankly, Canyon deserves a lot of credit for how this series went. I thought he played excellent on the Lee Sin and on the Viego. He had 100% KP when the game was close, and he was involved. Like, he was creating, and when he's creating, good luck, Willer, you know. Closer, obviously, finding moments to deal damage on the Azir and the Jace, 2 carry-oriented mid laners. He kept them in the game at times in the late game. D+ definitely with an advantage. I would say that Closer probably was better than Showmaker in this one. But the jungle diff was there, and then the AD carry diff, because Deft had a massive outplay in Game 1 at Elder when the game was close. I mean, obviously in the late game it was Elder on the Kesa, and then in Game 2 on the Kesa he also played very well. So, with that in mind, I mean, Deft and Bible did their thing, but it was against Teddy and Cal, and they did struggle in laning phase early on. Gen G, Nongshim. Gen G, third in the power rankings, 11-0, win 2-0. Nongshim now 2-9. Peanut was my MVP. Doran, 11-3-18, 31% of damage. Chovy, 3-0-22, as he really embraces that facilitator role. Din 3-12-4, 30% of damage. If that doesn't scream go top lane and make top die, I don't know what will. Peanut went top lane often. Just 1 second. Yeah, Peanut would go top lane often on the Maokai, and then in Game 2 on the Vi. He had over 10 kills on the Vi in Game 2, actually. He was all over the place. It was a back-and-forth affair. Jiwoo had some moments where he got involved for Nongshim. Fiesta had some really cool outplays on LeBlanc and escapes, but in the end, the top side of the rift was a chasm, because Peanut got Doran ahead on the Gangplank and the Jax, and there was no answer out of Nongshim, as Din and Sylvie just did not match it. Sylvie did not find a way to get Fiesta ahead or the bot lane to the point where they could offset that. And then Paze on Kesa was doing work from halfway across the rift, Chovy involving himself when he had to, so just a one-sided series. Sneak peek for tomorrow, LPL, Rare Adam, JDG. Rare Adam 4-10, coming off of a loss against Nip. JDG first in the power rankings, 12-2, coming off of a win against Team Wii. Last time they played, GDG won 2-0. Kanavi Ruler went 18-8-27 for 1,220 DPM, 51% of damage. Leon Asum would go 18-10-29 for 1,117 DPM, so 100 DPM difference, 52% of the team's damage. It was a close 2-0 when it comes to damage, for sure, as jungle 80 carries did do their job in that one. Weibo IG, Weibo 7th in the power rankings, 8-5, coming off of a win against Anyone's Legend. IG 4-10, coming off of their upset win against JDG. Last time they played, Weibo won 2-0. The Shy, Light, and Crisp went 15-6-42 for 1,292 DPM in that one. That was 55% of Weibo's damage, so mid-jungle duo 45%, opposite that. YSKM, On and Wink, 7-13-10, 1,008 DPM and 62% of damage, so less pure output and more of the share. Goes to show you that Weibo's Diffie was that mid-jungle duo of Karsa and Zhaohu last time. Now it is Weiwei and IG with a new mid-jungle duo as well, so it might have a different vibe to it tomorrow. OMG EDG play. OMG 13th in the power rankings, 8-5, coming off of a loss to Thunder Talk. EDG 15th, 8-6, coming off of a win against FPX. Last time they played in the playoffs, EDG won 3-1. Fofo went 18-9-35, 27% of damage in the win. Cream 15-11-26 for 26% of damage in the loss. That one obviously with a lot of seeding implications. LCK, KT-HLE, KT 4th in the power rankings, 9-1, coming off of a win against Bro. HLE 10th in the power rankings, 6-4, coming off of a win against Kwangdong Freaks. Last time they played, KT won 2-1. Aiming went 7-5-10, 27% of damage. Viper 5-4-12, 27% of damage as well. Yeah, both players led their teams in damage, but didn't have a lot of kills. That was kind of an interesting thing. Zeka had a lot for HLE. KT won with not many kills over 3 games. KDF and Bro will play after that. The Freaks are 4-6, coming off of a loss to HLE. Bro 2-8, coming off of a loss to KT. Last time they played, KDF won 2-0. Doodoo went 3-0-11 in top lane for 32% of damage. Morgan 2-5-3, 32% of damage in the loss. So the top side of the rift did deal the most damage last time they played. LCS, keep in mind, these records are not including today. NRG 5-7, Dig 6-6. Last time they played, Dignitas would win. Rich went 2-4-7, 31% of damage on Ilawi. Dokla 0-6, 18% of damage on Kesante. EG FlyQuest, EG 20th in the power rankings, 9-3. FlyQuest 3-9. Last time they played, EG won. Unforgiven 8-3, 31% of damage in the win. Prince 2-3-4, 25% of damage in the loss. Obviously, Fly needing wins now more than ever. Yeah, they're 2 games back. TSM Team Liquid, TSM 6-6. Team Liquid are 18th in the power rankings at 7-5. Summit went 9-2-9, 33% of damage in the win on Kennen. Hanser 3-4-6 and 22% of damage on Malphite in the loss. 4th game will be C9 100 Thieves. C9 are 17th in the power rankings at 9-3. 100 Thieves 4-7. Amenez went 5-1-3, 30% of damage on Jason, that one. Quid 2-4-1, 35% of damage on Nako in the loss. Final game of tomorrow, Golden Guardians, Immortals. Golden Guardians 21st at 8-4. Immortals 2-10. Gory went 9-3-7, 36% of damage on the Jace. Balulu would go 2-3-4, 35% of damage on the Annie, I believe. So that's it for the roundup today. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.